Right now at 6:30, what federal workers can expect entering the second week in a government shutdown.
Plus, we're tracking several small chances of some showers this week. I'll have the full forecast coming up.
And a big Brewers win. We're taking you to AmFam Field and showing you the highlights. Well, good Sunday morning. You're watching Weekend Mornings with Michelle Renee Quinn.
And I'm meteorologist Jacob Montesano. It is Sunday, October 12th. And as you mentioned, the Brewers are advancing to the National League Championship Series. First time since 2018. And ironically, they faced the Los Angeles Dodgers that year as well in the National Championship Series.
And they haven't won a playoff series since 2018, but last night at AmFam Field, they did have the chance to change that. 2
outs in the first, and who else but William Contreras hits a solo home run to put the Brew Crew on the board first. But by the fourth, it was all tied up until King Vaughn put one up, and away. Make it 2-1. And then in the eighth, the Brewers add some insurance via a Bryce Terang home run to center. The Brewers beat the Cubs 3-1, and as we mentioned, they are headed to the NLCS to face the Dodgers. Great win.
It was a great win for the Brew Crew, that 3-1 in the final. And you know, as always, those fans were tailgating before that first pitch. Our Tanisha Shaw asked the fans how they felt going into Game 5.
The blue jerseys that you see on your screen are taking over American Family Field again.
Go Brewers!
Go Cubs, go! During this National League Division Series, the Brewers and Cubs took full advantage of their home games, tying the series 2-2.
I bought these tickets for this game before the wild card series, before we even played the Padres. So, we were very hopeful. Going 2 down, not great, but going back to Wrigley is always a home field advantage, so we're very happy about that, and it turned out to be beneficial for us.
Feeling very confident. Definitely going to win. Cubs are going to be sad after this game.
Everyone's been kicking it at home, right, on their home field. They destroyed us. Now then we destroyed them. So this is really going to be crazy whether we could beat them here at their home field.
I was feeling a lot better before the last 2 games.
Fans are well aware that Saturday's game at American Family Field is a make it or break it game. I spoke to some fans that support the Brewers, and I spoke to other fans that support the Cubs. Both fans said that no matter how Saturday's games pans out, they will always be proud of their team's season this year.
It was a great season, one of the best seasons ever. I was at the 82 World Series, so it's been 42 years since we went to a World Series, but this is our year. We've had a great year. Either way, win or lose, it's a great team.
That if we do lose, we lost to a very good team.
Go Brewers!
Go Cubs, go!
Reporting in Milwaukee, Tanisha Shaw, 3 Now.
Now, those fans sure had a lot to cheer about as the Brewers advanced to the National League Championship Series. Now, the Los Angeles Dodgers, what do you think is going to happen?
I'm for sure rooting for the Brewers. Disclaimer.
Oh, now
Many
you're a Brewers
people,
fan.
Well, it's mostly the Dodgers just are kind of the enemy of the MLB right now. I don't know if you know this, but
this is news to me.
they have the biggest payroll, and so no one really likes them that much. But the Cubs fought hard, and ultimately the better team did win. I mean, it was a very entertaining series, and it had me on the edge of my seat. But
on your seat at Camp Randall watching the game.
So I actually left pretty early, not because of the Badgers. I had planned to leave early because of this game. Obviously
was priority.
With all due respect to the Badgers, this was a much bigger fish to fry, and I wanted to watch most of it. But ultimately, it was a great game, but I'm proud of the Cubs. They were missing their 2 top starters, and we were worried going into the postseason in general, and we didn't completely, embarrass ourselves. We fought hard for sure.
It was a good game.
Yeah.
Well, let's get to that weather now. What are we expecting for today?
Well, we're going to expect conditions pretty good. Now, right now, we're seeing temperatures pretty easily warmer than this time yesterday. Still chilly for sure, as a lot of the area in the 40s, in some cases the lower 40s. But as we saw yesterday, these temperatures are going to warm up very nicely. Now, we also will see some breezy conditions today, especially for areas to the west and northwest. You folks near La Crosse could see gusts up around 25 to 30 miles per hour. Madison and surrounding areas will see gusts around 20 to 25 miles per hour. But this is going to calm down a little bit throughout the night and then get a lot better once we get to Monday. Now, looking at today's forecast again, we will see more cloud cover compared to yesterday, but temperatures will actually be a few degrees warmer warmer, highs near 70. Again, a little bit breezy at times, especially for areas further to the northwest. More cloud cover is expected for La Crosse. Some very light showers are possible for La Crosse and surrounding areas today, but any rain that does fall, very, very light. And we will continue to see the chance of light rain tonight for parts of the area. So I'll talk more about that and show you several other chances of light showers this week. All of that will be coming up a bit later. Thanks, Jacob. We'll be checking in. Now to a quick traffic update this morning. Parts of the Beltline are closed. Police are blocking off Mineral Point Road to Gammon Road, both east and westbound on the Beltline, due to a single vehicle crash. Our crew at the scene reports a vehicle turned over, and we cannot currently confirm the status of the driver's injuries, but we'll keep you updated as we learn more. You're taking a live look now at the Capitol. The ongoing government shutdown will soon hit federal workers' paychecks. Many employees are expected to receive partial pay this week, but if a spending deal isn't passed by lawmakers soon, many of those workers will go unpaid. Roughly 1.4 million federal employees have been furloughed or are working without pay. The Trump administration started layoffs on Friday and warns more will come. For those like Katie Fraser, whose Navy husband is the sole income for her family of 6, the lack of clarity is taxing. Her husband is paid every 2 weeks.
If we don't get paid after that, it can start to become a real stressful situation, a real struggle.
The Trump administration says they will allocate funds to continue paying troops. The shutdown is also causing staff shortages at major airports across the country. Air traffic controllers and transportation security agents are considered essential employees and are required to show up for work, but they're not getting paid. Many are calling out sick. Meanwhile, President Donald Trump says an additional 100% tariff on Chinese exports to the United States will take effect November 1st or sooner. That's on top of the existing 30% tariffs already in effect. The president says the U.S. will impose export controls on any and all critical software. Trump's actions are in response to China ramping up export controls on critical rare earth minerals, which are needed to produce many electronics. The action is a massive escalation after months of a trade truce between the U.S. and China. Trump is scheduled to meet with the Chinese leader later this month. The president said the meeting has not been canceled, even though earlier Friday he said he no longer sees a reason to meet. Officials in Tennessee say no survivors have been found following Friday's massive blast at a military and industrial explosives plant. The county sheriff says they are now moving to a recovery mission. At least 18 people were missing after the blast at the Accurate Energetic Systems facility. The cause is still under investigation.
As we get into this, we find it even more devastating than what we thought initially. We got communities here, Sheriff Kraft and I both, on both sides, have communities that have been truly devastated.
Investigators are using cell records to help determine who was at the plant at the time of the explosion. A source says officials were on site Saturday detonating explosives because the chemicals are more unstable than previously thought. Counseling will be provided at schools starting Monday to help families involved. In more local news this morning, Dane County leaders are trying to fill a $31 million hole in the county budget. The sheriff is concerned about staffing for his department. Currently, the office has 17 vacant deputy positions that it will not be able to fill next year. Sheriff Calvin Barrett says if the department doesn't have the appropriate staffing, the expected 2027 opening of a new jail may be delayed.
A successful budget will be to provide us with everything that we asked for, and none, and I'll repeat it again, none or zero vacant positions being taken to allow us to fill those so that we can properly open our new jail that's slated to open in 2027.
The sheriff also added that the jail would be at maximum capacity when it opens in the middle of 2027. You can hear the full interview right here at 10:30 on For the Record with Ellie La Liberté. Still ahead on Weekend Mornings, where you can find fun fall events, plus what experts are saying about the new trend encouraging fiber maxing. And Jacob is back after the break with your full forecast on Weekend Mornings. Keep it here.
You're watching Weekend Mornings.
It may be a small world, but it's an expensive one. Disney announced it is raising admission prices during peak days for its theme parks in both Animine and Orlando. A single day pass on some of the most popular days of the year will cost just under $200. During weeks surrounding big holidays like Christmas, New Year's, and Thanksgiving, that price jumps about another $25. And you may get more trick than treat in the candy aisle this Halloween. Cocoa prices have more than doubled since early last year. A Wells Fargo analysis cites extreme weather in West Africa, which accounts for 70% of global supply, as well as a drop in worldwide production. If you want to scare up some savings, look for treats with less cocoa, consider generic brands, and look for in-store deals. Now, if I'm buying candy, what would I get for you, Jacob?
I mean, there's a lot of good choices.
Don't say chocolate now because, you know, the prices are increasing.
All right, then if we can't do chocolate, I love those Starburst jelly beans.
Okay.
Not all jelly beans, but the Starburst ones specifically.
I know the ones you're talking about, and they are the best.
They're so good. So if I can't do chocolate, I'd pick those. So.
Okay.
Now let's take a look at the 3 things you need to know. We'll see some light rain later tonight into early Monday. A few other on and off rain chances throughout the week, but all the rain chances are likely not going to produce a ton of rainfall. And during all the chances of rain, we're not going to see a big temperature change. So let's focus on the rain chances. So for today, we're not going to see much, if any, across southern Wisconsin, although we are going to see a good amount of clouds. Further northwest near La Crosse, a little bit better of a chance of rainfall. And then as we get to the overnight hours, the rain chances will increase a little bit for southern Wisconsin, but still only going to produce some very light rain, if any rain at all. And this is mostly going to be for the morning Monday. Once we get to the afternoon, we should be dry, although remaining cloudy for Dane counties and areas to the east. Further to the west and northwest, we'll see a lot more sunshine for Monday afternoon. And then once we get to Monday night, we'll see a little bit clearer skies for Dane County before clouds roll in again for places to the northwest with some showers early in the day further northwest. Southern Wisconsin will then see some rain later in the day Tuesday, a little bit more consistent than the rain tonight into early tomorrow. And then right now, Tuesday night is the best chance of rain over the next couple of days. Could see rain for a few hours, but again, it's still mostly going to be on the lighter side. Now, continuing from there, we'll see that rain mostly clear up for the day on Wednesday. Still could see some light showers. And then once we get to Thursday, we'll see another round of precipitation move into the area, bringing in some mostly light showers. That may continue into Thursday night, but not as much rain Thursday night, and then some more light showers are possible on Friday. And then once we get to Friday and Saturday, this looks like the best chance of rain overall, as most of the area will be covered in scattered showers, maybe a few isolated thunderstorms, but the heaviest rain, or the most rainfall, I should say, will be Saturday morning. Not going to see as much for the afternoon on Saturday. So recapping all the rain chances, small chance tonight into early tomorrow, a better chance of rain Tuesday night, then some more small rain chances Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Then Friday night into Saturday, that looks like the best chance of rain going forward. Now, as we take a look at the full 10-day forecast, this is La Crosse's forecast. We are going to see those temperatures dip a little bit for the middle of the week, highs near 60 for a lot of the region. Then back up in the upper 60s for the end of the week, and then back in the lower 60s for early next week. So although the temperatures certainly going to fluctuate a little bit, we're not expecting any big temperature swings in general. It will get a little, I won't even say warm today, but a little above normal for today and tomorrow, and then back near normal for the middle of the week. But again, nothing extreme in either direction. So very fall-like going forward, and we'll see several chances of rainfall. But again, rain chances aren't necessary, or the rain is not going to be very heavy at any point.
You know, light showers are better than pouring rain, and at least today is dry.
Yeah, and it does look like, we are going to see mostly dry weather just about every day, just because there's, a rain symbol for most of the days. Like I said, it's not going to be, not going to rain all day for any of these days.
Perfect. Thank you, Jacob. Well, move over, Marvel. What's old is new again when it comes to the big screen. As more Americans opt into streaming movies at home, theaters are heading back into the archives to sell tickets. Gwen Baumgartner reports from Los Angeles.
The lines are unforgettable.
You're gonna need a bigger boat.
The characters iconic.
I am Dorothy.
More and more Hollywood classics are getting a second act.
I'll be back.
The old box office hits are returning to theaters in a new bid to sell more seats.
This is a big shift this year.
J.D. Connor is a cinema professor at USC.
Movie theaters are trying everything. Discount Wednesdays, the loyalty programs, all these things seem to be moving the needle, but the revival screenings where they can guarantee a pretty full house, that seems to be working a lot.
Hollywood's TCL Chinese Theater is showing Apollo 13, marking its 30th anniversary. Jim came for the matinee.
I'm retired now, so I can go whenever I want.
Avatar and Toy Story are back on nearby screens, and not just for the sake of nostalgia.
Houston, we have a problem.
Movie theaters are struggling to find content.
Runtimes have drastically shortened.
AMC CEO Adam Aron says a typical new release used to run in theaters about 74 days. Post-pandemic, that shrunk to about 45. And if the studio sees a flop, they might pull it after just 17 days. That leaves a pretty wide opening for new audiences to see the greats gathering dust on the shelf in their big screen glory.
The experience is just totally different.
Yeah.
So I wish they would bring more movies back.
Bringing the classics back to the future.
You kids are going to love it.
Gwen Baumgartner, CBS News, Los Angeles.
And still ahead on Weekend Mornings, our Kyrian Lee joins us with Dr. Rupa Shah for this weekend's health conversation about fiber maxing. But first, a look at your winning Powerball numbers. You're watching Weekend Mornings. Don't go anywhere. We'll be back right after the break.
Welcome back. Today is going to be pretty nice. We'll see a mixture of clouds and sun, highs near 70. Not going to see much rain. Then we will see a small chance of rain overnight. But with the cloudy skies and the chance of rain, we'll have pretty mild lows, only dropping into the middle and upper 50s, maybe lower 60s for places further to the west. Now we're going to see nice conditions again tomorrow. Some light rain in the morning. Cloudy skies will continue for southern Wisconsin, but sunshine and cooler temperatures compared to the areas that will see the cloud cover for places to the northwest. 60s for La Crosse and surrounding areas, highs near 70 for Madison and surrounding areas. And then they're going to drop a little bit from the middle of the week, middle to lower 60s, back in the upper 60s for Friday, Saturday, back near 60 for early next week. So although they're fluctuating a little bit, still going to be, very fall-like. But the normal high this time of the year is in the lower 60s, and then that's going to drop into the upper 50s by the end of the 10-day forecast. So those lower 60s by the end of the 10-day forecast will actually still be above normal. And before I end this, I do want to mention, so some cool temperatures are expected further to the west. The western United States is seeing those cool temperatures right now. And if we take a look at the winter weather bulletin, certainly nothing near us, but take a look all the way over here. There are some winter storm warnings for parts of Montana. And the reason I'm showing you this is to remind everyone, that's right, winter is right around the corner.
Jacob, thank you. There's a new health trend on social media called fiber maxing, encouraging people to boost daily fiber intake. Dr. Rupa Shah joins News 3 Now's Kyrian Lee for this morning's health conversation.
With many Americans already falling short of the recommended daily fiber amount, fiber maxing could carry some real health benefits. SSM Health family medicine physician and wellness coach Dr. Rupa Shah joins me now to break down what this trend is all about. So Dr. Shah, I must ask, what is the hype? Is this actually a good social media trend?
There's a lot of social media trends that I can't get behind, but this is one that we should all get behind because this is a good one. The typical American diet does not get enough fiber at all. We average about only 15 grams, which is not nearly enough of what we need. Having increased fiber in our diet really helps with lots of different health issues, including constipation, even diarrhea, diverticulitis. It can also help lower our cholesterol and reduce the risk for heart disease. So this is one that we should all get behind.
So we can get behind this trend here. Obviously, we're lacking that fiber, but what are some ways that we can increase our fiber?
One of the great things that we can do is increase the amount of fruits and vegetables that we're getting, whole grains, beans, legumes, all of these are going to have all that good fiber. If you cannot get that much fiber through your diet, another great way could be to supplement. Things like FiberCon, Metamucil, these can be good. One thing that I really like is like ground flax and chia seeds, and they sell these at all the different health food stores, and adding these to smoothies, soups, yogurts, overnight oats is a great way to get that extra fiber in for your day.
Yes, just small ways there to increase our fiber. But is there a risk in ramping up our fiber intake quickly?
Sometimes we all like to overdo a good thing, but in this case, if you overdo the fiber too much too quick, you can get a lot of digestive side effects. You might have gas, bloating, even diarrhea, abdominal cramping. So the key again is to start with a small amount and increase that slowly, and make sure that you also have adequate fluid intake during this time to avoid some of those digestive and GI side effects.
Yes, kind of level it all out there. And again, how much fiber are we supposed to have?
So women should get about 21 to 25 grams a day. Men need slightly more, about 31 to 36 grams a day.
Okay, so a little more for the men, a little less for the women.
Exactly.
But we all just have to work harder to do it.
Absolutely.
All right. Well, Dr. Shaw, before we go, where can we find you?
You can find me on Instagram at Wellness with Dr. Shaw.
Thanks for joining us.
Okay, thanks again.
Thank you, ladies. Still ahead on Weekend Mornings, we bring you to AmFam Field ahead of the Brewers game, and we're showing you the hot. Right now, what federal workers can expect entering the second week in a government shutdown.
Plus, we're going to see a few small chances of rainfall throughout the week. I'll have the full forecast coming up.
And it's a big Brewers win. We're taking you to AmFam Field and showing you the highlights. Good Saturday morning, and thanks for waking up with us. I'm your Weekend Morning anchor, Michelle Renee Quinn.
And I'm Jacob Montesano. You're watching Weekend Mornings on Sunday, October 12th. And as you mentioned, big Brewers win.
Yes, now those Brewers are advancing to the National League Championship Series, facing the Los Angeles Dodgers.
And the Brewers haven't won a playoff series since 2018, but last night at AmFam Field, they had the chance to change that. 2 outs in the first, and who else but William Contreras hits a solo home run to put the Brew Crew on the board first. But by the fourth, it was all tied up until King Vaughn put one up, and away, making it 2-1 Crew. And in the 8th inning, they're going to add insurance by the form of a Bryce Terang solo shot. Who said the Crew couldn't hit bombs? The Brewers beat the Cubs 3-1.
Now that's a great win for the Brew Crew, and as always, those fans were tailgating together before first pitch. Great sportsmanship all around. Our Tanisha Shaw asked fans how they felt going into Game 5.
Go Cubs, go! The blue jerseys that you see on your screen are taking over American Family Field again.
Go Brewers! Go Cubs, go!
During this National League Division Series, the Brewers and Cubs took full advantage of their home games, tying the series 2-2.
I bought these tickets for this game before the wild card series, before we even played the Padres. So, we were very hopeful. Going 2 down, not great, but going back to Wrigley is always a home field advantage. So we're very happy about that, and it turned out to be beneficial for us.
Feeling very confident. Definitely going to win. Cubs are going to be sad after this game.
Everyone's been kicking it at home, right? On their home field. They destroyed us. Then we destroyed them. So this is really going to be crazy whether we could beat them here at their home field.
I was feeling a lot better before the last 2 games.
Fans are well aware that Saturday's game at American Family Field is a make it or break it game. I spoke to some fans that support the Brewers, and I spoke to other fans that support the Cubs. Both fans said that no matter how Saturday's games pans out, they will always be proud of their team's season this year.
It was a great season, one of the best seasons ever. I was at the 82 World Series, so it's been 42 years since we went to a World Series, but this is our year. We've had a great year. Either way, win or lose, it's a great team.
That if we do lose, we lost to a very good team.
Go Brewers! Go Cubs, go!
Reporting in Milwaukee, Tanisha Shaw, now.
Those fans sure had a lot to cheer about as the Brewers advance, facing the Los Angeles Dodgers tomorrow at 7:08 p.m. Jacob, how you feeling?
I'm okay. Obviously I was a little upset at first, big Cubs fan here, but I'm happy for my wife, who is a Brewers fan, and I'm 100% going to be rooting for the Brewers to beat the Dodgers.
And you're not alone. A lot of the country sounds like they'll be rooting for them too.
Yeah, for those that don't know, the Dodgers are like the evil empire in the MLB right now. They won last year, and a lot of people don't like how they just like spend so much money to, build their team, rather than the Brewers, who a lot of their players are homegrown and developed. So that's a big reason. And so this is actually going to be a very big series in that key, because the Brewers have such a small payroll compared to the Dodgers. So in that regard, a lot of people are going to be rooting for the I wouldn't necessarily call the Brewers the underdog, because they are the 1 seed, but like when you compare the payroll, it's like the underdog fight kind of feel.
Well, us here in Wisconsin, you, me, and a couple other states, I guess.
Yeah.
We are rooting for the Brewers. That game again is tomorrow night at 7:08.
Yeah, and we're going to be seeing very nice weather today. And, you know, for the games, not going to be too bad either. Looking at the live view from Platteville, you could see a few more clouds compared to this time yesterday. Current temp is 48 degrees in Platteville, and that's pretty similar to a lot of the area. Some locations in the 50s, some in the lower 40s. Certainly warmer compared to this time yesterday. Now, we are going to see some breezy conditions later today, especially for areas west of Madison. We'll see gusts up around 25 to 30 miles per hour. In general, Madison and surrounding areas will see gusts around 20 miles per hour. So definitely a little breezy, but not too awful in that department. Getting a little better overnight and then a lot better by Monday. Now looking at the forecast in general throughout the day, we'll see partly sunny skies for Madison, highs near 70, a little breezy, but overall a very comfortable fall day. More cloud cover is expected for you folks in La Crosse, and in general, there is going to be a very small chance of rain for places to the northwest, but any rain that does fall will be very light. But there's a few other better chances of rain coming this week. I'll talk more about all of that coming up a bit later.
All right, thanks, Jacob. We'll be checking in shortly. You're taking a live look now at the Capitol. The ongoing government shutdown will soon hit federal workers' paychecks. Many employees are expected to receive partial pay this week. But if a spending deal isn't passed by lawmakers soon, many of those workers will go unpaid. Roughly 1.4 million federal employees have been furloughed or are working without pay. The Trump administration started layoffs on Friday and warns more will come. For those like Katie Fraser, whose Navy husband is the sole income for her family of 6, the lack of clarity is taxing. Her husband is paid every 2 weeks.
If we don't get paid after that, it can start to become a real stressful situation, a real struggle.
The Trump administration says they'll allocate funds to continue paying troops. The shutdown is also causing staff shortages at major airports across the country. Air traffic controllers and transportation security agents are considered essential employees and are required to show up for work, but they're not getting paid. Many are calling out sick. Today, President Trump will travel to Israel, where he's expected to deliver an address to Parliament. This ahead of a crucial deadline for Hamas to release the remaining hostages being held in Gaza, both dead and alive. There's been cautious optimism on both sides that this could mean the end of the war. Israeli troops have withdrawn to an agreed-upon line. Tens of thousands of Palestinians are returning to find their homes reduced to rubble and ruin. Much-needed aid has been flowing into Gaza as Israel mobilized prisoners set to be released in an exchange for the Israeli hostages. The Trump administration is considering selling parts of the nation's $1.6 trillion student loan debt into the private market. This sale would not change the terms of loans, and federal protections would stay in place. Federal law allows the government to sell student loan debt, but only if there is no cost to taxpayers. While the administration weighs its options, experts recommend staying informed about your loan status and knowing what you owe and to whom. In more local news this morning, the Madison Fire Department is investigating after a vacant house caught fire. Multiple callers alerted 911 around 11:30 p.m. about the fire yesterday at a vacant house. This was just a few blocks northeast of the Capitol on Butler Street. When firefighters arrived, they found flames through the roof. They were able to protect the two houses on either side from catching on fire. No one was injured. In DeForest, officials are investigating an apartment fire on Valeria Drive. It left 3 families without a home on Friday morning just before the DeForest Windsor fire. An EMS department was dispatched to an apartment building. They brought the fire under control within 15 minutes. 2 residents suffered mild smoke inhalation, but there were no other injuries. The Call for Action telethon ended in success after volunteers never stopped answering the phones. A total of 41 new cases were taken on. That's in addition to the multitude of calls where volunteers were able to provide advice and resources to callers with smaller consumer issues. Remember, Call for Action is a free resource. Our volunteers are in the building every Tuesday, Wednesday, and Friday from 11 to 1 p.m. You can call for action or fill out a form on channel3000.com. Let's check in now again with meteorologist Jacob Montesano live from our studio in Madison. What are we expecting?
Well, let's take a look at the Packers game forecast. Across the area, and really all of Wisconsin, it's going to be a pretty good day, and the Packers game forecast is looking very good. Mixture of sunshine and some clouds, temperatures in the 60s, a little bit more cloud cover towards the end of the game. Should stay dry, maybe a very, very isolated shower towards the end of the game, but I wouldn't expect to see much. In general, again, very nice across a lot of the area today. We'll see a decent amount of clouds for some areas, I should say. Highs at near 70 for a lot of the region. And then taking a look at the temperatures for the next 10 days, again, they'll fluctuate a little bit. Lower 60s for the middle of the week. We are going to see upper 60s then for the end of the week before we drop back down to near 60 by the beginning of next week. But most of the next 10 days will feature very fall-like temperatures.
Jacob, thank you. Now to the morning motivational quote. It's from Ferris Bueller's Day Off, and our director Nina sent this in.
And for those of you that have seen the movie, I think you know what's coming. So the quote is, "Life moves pretty fast. If you don't stop and look around once in a while, you could miss it." It is definitely a quote that you should listen to, but I don't know if you should listen to everything or take advice from everything that Ferris Bueller does.
Probably
but I really do enjoy this quote because you sometimes just got to take life in and, enjoy it and realize, how your life is right now. And if you're stressed about something, think of the good things in life.
Absolutely. Take that moment, soak it in, look around, and don't miss life. Still ahead on weekend mornings, we've got more weather and we are taking a look at some fall events. Keep it here. We'll be right back. And you're running out of time to see 2 grizzly bears at the Henry Villa Zoo. The zoo says Ash and Lexi will move to another AZA accredited institution later this month. The move will help free up space for the zoo's brand new polar bears. 10-year-old polar bear Nora will soon come to Madison for the Oregon Zoo in Portland. Both Ash and Lexi will be visible to the public until they depart for their new home. Let's check in now with Jacob. He's tracking your bottom line.
Thanks, Michelle Renee. We are going to see a small chance of some rain tonight into early tomorrow with a few other chances of rain throughout the week. And during all this, the temperatures will remain pretty consistent. Now, looking at that rain chance today, we'll see a good amount of clouds, but also some sunshine at times, staying mostly dry in southern Wisconsin. A few showers for La Crosse and surrounding areas, but any rain will be light. Once we get to the overnight hours, we'll see a small chance of rain in southern Wisconsin. Again, any rain that does fall will be light, and it's very possible a lot of the area doesn't see any rain at all. And this is only going to last into Monday morning because by Monday afternoon, although southern Wisconsin will continue to see cloudy skies, we're not expecting rain. However, for those of you further northwest, sunshine is expected for Monday afternoon. And then getting into Monday night, we'll start to see some clearer skies in southern Wisconsin. But then more clouds are going to move into La Crosse and surrounding areas, bringing in some light showers again for Tuesday morning. Now, once we get to Tuesday afternoon, we'll see a little bit more consistent rain move into southern Wisconsin. This is going to continue into the evening hours. And right now, the best chance of rain over the next couple of days will be Tuesday night as a little bit more widespread shower activity moves through. Again, any rain that does fall will be light, but this rain may last for a few hours. Continuing from there, that rain looks to mostly clear up for Wednesday. Still could see some light showers Wednesday, but then as we get to the overnight hours, looking more likely to be dry. But then rain's going to move back into the area for Tuesday, possibly continuing into Tuesday night. But then for Friday, although that rain Thursday will clear out, we'll see more showers develop then. And then the best chance of rain overall will be Friday night into Saturday, where we are going to see some showers roll through the area, possibly some storms as well. And the good news is that although it's going to continue into Saturday morning, it looks like it's mostly going to clear out by Saturday afternoon, but a lot can still change between now and then. So to recap all the rain chances, small chance tonight into early tomorrow morning. Once we get to Tuesday, especially late in the day Tuesday and especially Tuesday night, we'll see the increase in those rain chances. Small chance of rain Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Then Friday night into Saturday will be the best chance of rain. So a lot of very on and off rain chances throughout the week, but I don't expect any to be significant. Friday night into Saturday could produce a decent amount of shower activity, but again, a lot can still change between now and then. We'll see some cooler temperatures for the middle of the week, highs near 60. Then they'll rise a little bit for the end of the week, Friday, Saturday, and then towards the end of the 10-day forecast, they'll drop again. But as far as the temperatures goes, we're not really going to be seeing a lot of big changes in that department. It will be a little bit above normal today and then closer to normal for the middle of the week, but almost every day will feel very similar with 60s for much of the afternoon hours.
Perfect. Thank you, Jacob. Nice seasonable weather. Nothing says fall in Wisconsin more than sitting by a lake with a smooth pint of beer. That's what Lake Louis Brewing in Verona celebrated yesterday as part of their annual Pumpkin Fest. Participants were treated to live music and pumpkin carving while they tasted 3 different specialty brews on tap. There were also steins aplenty for drinking out and as a part of the stein holding contest. Now, if you missed the fun yesterday, fear not. Lake Louis has some more fall-themed events planned. You can head over next week, Wednesday, the 22nd, to paint your own Halloween pottery, or try not to lose your head in horror movie trivia the following Tuesday, October 28th. Don't go anywhere. Still ahead, the highlights from Badger hockey and what Coach Fickle has to say after a tough loss at Camp Randall. But first, if you have a little kid turning 3 soon, let us know so we can share their picture on TV. You're watching Weekend Mornings. Keep it here.
All offseason, Wisconsin had a rally cry, reminding themselves of last year when they got destroyed by Iowa. Needing a win, the Badgers said they were ready to get the Heartland Trophy back. Monte Ball was inducted into the College Football Hall of Fame after the first quarter, but by that point, his Badgers were already down bad. Iowa turned Wisconsin's second turnover into a touchdown. Kamari Moulton with the score, giving Iowa a quick 10-0 lead. That they'd only add to Hunter Simmons trying to stymie some offense to no avail. His pass picked off and returned to the 1, setting up another Iowa score. The Hawks headed to half, leading 23-0. Camp Randall sent Bucky to the break with boos and chants of fire. Fickle, but still nothing changed. Iowa's Xavier Williams found the end zone in the 3rd and 4th quarters, letting the Hawkeyes jump around at Camp Randall. Another week, another embarrassing loss for the Badgers, who lose the rivalry game 37-0. The Heartland Trophy heads back to Iowa City.
That's as low as it can be, and I apologize. I apologize to our guys, to not be ready, to not have them ready. I'm dumbfounded in a lot of ways, but that's my job. And, this is a game we've been talking about since January, and I've been doing a lot of things to make sure we were ready and prepared, and obviously we were not.
But thankfully, that wasn't the only big game for the Badgers yesterday. Sports director Andrew Banstra brings you the women's hockey highlights.
We start with a big one on the ice. Number 1 Wisconsin against number 4 Minnesota Duluth. But Duluth scores the go-ahead goal with 9 minutes left. But the Badgers are never out. 20 seconds left and Caroline Harvey strikes the equalizer. We're tied at 3. But the Badgers still weren't done. Check this out. Just about 10 seconds left. Cassie Hall goes ahead for the Badgers. Are you kidding me? Where have we seen this late goal magic before? Mark Johnson's Badgers are never out of it, and they stay undefeated, taking down Duluth and the Bulldogs 4-3.
Jacob, Andrew, thank you. As a reminder, the Packers will be at home facing off against Cincinnati this afternoon. You can catch the game right here on WISC-TV, kicking off at 3:25. Now, this also marks the start of CBS Premiere Week and our first WARN weather special, Winter Ready. After the game, we'll have a special report on Madison's new vape ban.
Coming up on For the Record, we're talking money. We sit down with Dane County Sheriff Calvin Barrett about what a budget shortfall could mean for his department. And later, Madison's mayor unveiled her executive budget this week, what it could mean for your wallet. That's ahead this morning on For the Record at 10:30. You're watching Weekend Mornings.
If you're headed out this morning, the Beltline is now open. A single vehicle crash caused police to block off Mineral Point Road to Gammon in both directions. Our crews at the scene reports a vehicle turned over, and we cannot currently confirm the status of the driver's injuries, but we will keep you updated as we learn more. Again, that road is now clear and the Beltline is open. Today's playlist pick: is Shine by Bishop Gunn. Rusty sent this in, and unfortunately we can't play this one because of copyright, but we do have a large library we can play, so please keep sending in your songs. I love sharing them. So you can send that on email with the subject playlist pick. Thank you for watching Weekend Mornings. Next is CBS Sunday Morning, followed by Face the Nation and For the Record. Our next newscast is at 5:30 p.m. Find us streaming on Channel 3000+.